With Dominica in the background, our sights were set on the next island, the French island of Martinique. This day was incredibly clear and bright, with perfect wind conditions for a great sail. This is exactly the day we've been dreaming about. Having enjoyed the French islands of Guadeloupe and the Saints, we were again excited to spend time in another French island. As we approached the north end of Martinique, Mount Pierre began to expose itself in a lush green mountainside that looked stunning. The winds flattened out as we were wind shadowed by the mountainous terrain, so we turned on our engine and powered our way into the anchorage. The next morning, we woke to Mount Pierre in the distance. We were anchored just off the town of St. Pierre, along with a number of other cruisers. We had a couple of local fishing boats working their seine nets, attempting to catch bait fish for the local fishing fleet. We needed to dinghy into town, as this is a port of entry to clear customs and immigration. We also wanted to explore the village. The town of St. Pierre is an interesting place. Founded in 1635, it was known as the Paris of the Caribbean and was the economic and cultural capital of Martinique. That all changed in 1902 when Mount Pierre erupted. In a matter of minutes, the town and all but 2 of its inhabitants were incinerated. 30,000 lives were lost in this disaster. The town still has not fully recovered, as there are still burnt-out shells of buildings that we pass when walking the narrow streets. Yeah, came right down the street. Boom. A blast. During our walk through town, we came upon a French bakery. It was time for some flaky croissants. You can't beat the pricing in the French islands at their bakeries, where croissants and baguettes are only €1 or about $1.15 US. It's only 5 cents more for a croissant filled with chocolate. Guess what I ordered? With our warm croissants in hand, we walked past the open-air market and found a perch on the waterfront where we enjoyed our pastry. It was then time to do some fun shopping, so we hit a couple of souvenir shops on the main drag. It was at this point where I started to notice some items with Dillon Rhum imprinted on them. That caught my attention. We needed to reprovision the boat, so we went into a local market, where what did we find on the shelves but Dillon Rhum, which is distilled in Martinique.
You're holding what, dear?
My Dillon Rhum from Martinique.
Yay.
We still needed to clear customs and immigration, so off we went to clear in. The French islands make this process very easy, as the check-in is performed via computer. Once you have entered your information, you print out the summary page, and the shop proprietor signs the form, which enters you into the country. Quite a simple process. Once we were checked in and had a tour of St. Pierre, it was off for another day sail down Martinique's coast. As the water depths dropped dramatically a short distance offshore, we tossed in our lure to try our luck at fishing. And lucky we were, as a nice-sized Wahoo hit our lure shortly after tossing it in.
Tonight.
Oh, he heard dinner and
he heard dinner. We named him. What you got, babe?
We got a nice Wahoo. We threw the bait out, and it's like, yeah, we were just going up the coast of Martinique, so let's see what we can catch for dinner. We haven't been doing any fishing at all. This is really about the second time we've had it out in a couple of months, and yeah, scored this puppy, so.
Excellent. And it's going to be a good dinner.
Yeah, he was hard to get up. Could have used a gaff.
You could have used a gaff.
With the fillet knives out, we made short order of bleeding the fish out and cutting some nice sized fillets. It was too much for Darcy and I, but our friends Ehrlich and Sylvia from Harmony just happened to be about a mile away, so we hailed them on our VHF radio and told them we had a couple of pounds of Wahoo for them. That night we both enjoyed a freshly caught Wahoo dinner.
Shark.
Yeah. We were then off to St. Anne, Martinique. As we rounded the southwest corner of Martinique, we passed Diamond Rock, which has a rather interesting history, as the British fortified the island with cannons to disrupt shipping from Martinique. It was, for a period of time, His Majesty's ship, Diamond Rock.
Heading to St. Anne. Martinique.
She's the captain for the day.
Captain for the day.
St. Anne was another French village you just have to love. It has a wide, open anchorage that can accommodate hundreds of boats at a time. The waterfront was full of bars and bistros overlooking the anchorage where you can enjoy a French pastry, wine and cheese, or a beer. This town is decidedly French Caribbean, which we have grown to enjoy and appreciate. We are definitely going to spend more time here in the future, but right now, our thoughts are again focused on heading south. St. Lucia is only a short sail away, and we're itching to get going. The next morning, we'll be off heading to our next island.